And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent. Here is Ross Fuller.
After we warm up, the troupe teeters around nervously in the silent, dimly lit green room. We listen behind the stage entrance door to the host warm up the crowd. A responsive round of laughter sounds off after the muffled Charlie Brown-like womp womp of the host warming up the crowd. My teammates look at each other and practice our pre-show ritual. We go around and place a hand on each member, saying, "I've got your back." We hear our team name announced, the walk-on music plays, and we walk. I usually have at least slight butterflies before a show, because you just don't know what will happen, and what if I blank? If you walked into a room and watched a bunch of improvisers in a warm-up circle, you'd probably think it was a cult. And it kind of is. A bunch of goofy weirdos who have all agreed to pretend that things that aren't there are, and that people that don't exist do. It really is the closest thing to something you'd do in childhood, play make-believe with your friends. I decided to take a hiatus from MMA in my freshman year of college. I decided it was too time-consuming for me, that I wanted more out of life, and college, and training to fight people. I had always been a class clown type, and kind of weird. Even to this day, I still surprise my parents, who will sometimes look at me, laugh a little, and tell me, "You're so strange." And around this time of shifting passions, I felt like I had gotten away from my funniness. So I started taking classes to rediscover it. And I did. And I didn't stop. Improv is formed by two or more people. You are at war together. You jump off the cliff and figure it out on the way down, said Keegan-Michael Key. It's interactive with the audience. Usually an improv team will get some sort of suggestion or word or phrase from the audience and use that information to build the material. In improv, there are agreed upon rules. Agree with the reality that your partners establish and add information. Or as we call it, say yes, and practice is just focused on growing the improv muscle. Once you're on stage, it's complete hilarious chaos.
Please welcome Crocodile's Dilemma.
Pennsylvania.
Packed into a small room with other fighters who have other coaches and teammates. It's my turn to make the walk, though. My posse hypes me up. "It's your time, Ross," they say. Hands wrapped, gloves fitted, I stand at the entrance of the arena. I can see the crowd of hundreds. Teammates clapping, ready to walk me out to war. I hear the announcer yell my name. I listen for my entrance music. I'm full of energy. No butterflies, though. Just excited to put my training to the test. And I walk. Mixed martial arts is formed by two people. I call it its full name to give it more credit. It's really cage fighting. The goal is to hurt your opponent. At 15, I dropped the violent sport of football and picked up the sport of violence, dedicated to making it my profession. Limbs clashing, fists flying, throwing, squeezing, taking consciousnesses. Prior to the fight, you train for any possible scenario, but when the bell rings, it is beautiful chaos. Two fighters create art at war with each other. The entire training camp has culminated in this moment. Although the sport is brutal, the technique is satisfying to me. There's something innately pleasing about it. Some say that fighting is in our blood. That could be the case, but for me, I was raised on it. Playing fighting video games, watching fighting TV shows, fighting with action figures, pretend fighting with my friends. And maybe the most formative experience when it comes to my transformation as a fighter was fighting with my older brother and his friends. I was allowed to hang out with the older kids, and so we would roughhouse. which meant fighting. You have to have 2 feet in the door to be a fighter. 100% commitment. Slacking in training leads to dire physical consequences in the fight. To be adept, you must live and breathe fighting. Improv necessitates listening, building effectively off of your teammates' responses well. There's a saying in comedy: live a life worth commenting on.